Hello, ladies and gentlemen. At this center, you are going to learn about illuminated manuscripts. Hopefully by the end of this video, you guys will be able to describe the features of an illuminated manuscript and detail the process of making an illuminated manuscript. You should also be able to understand the significance of illuminated manuscripts. So first of all, what is it? Well, can you guys think of Shrek? Have you seen that? With the introduction, when they show the font like this with a little bit of color. Well, if you can picture that, you can picture an illuminated manuscript. So what verse do we mean is an illuminated manuscript? Well, what do we mean by illuminated? Illuminated we mean to light up. So they illuminated the house, they lit it up. So in this process, we're actually going to be talking about decorating. Usually a page or the initial letter with gold or silver. So a way to decorate it and a way to make it stand out. So, illuminated manuscripts. Now these are handwritten books that are decorated with gold or silver, usually with brilliant colors, elaborate detail, so very, very detailed, lots of colors and images and details. Basically, they're like miniature paintings that give the impression that the page was illuminated or that there's light shining on this page. So that's why they would use actual pieces of gold or silver leaves and make it look like the page was just shining. Now remember, this is before the printing press. This is before they had anything to manually produce books. So all of these illuminated manuscripts were written by hand and copied by hand. So every single book that was in publication at this time was written by hand, which would explain why it was so difficult to obtain books and why learning wasn't that popular. Alright, so here we can see a little bit of the process of the illuminated manuscript. They actually take the gold leaf and like rub it onto where they would like the gold to stay. So they end up taking the leaf away, the gold stays, and then they add the extra color to really make it pop. Alright, now the monks were the most educated and had the most time available to be the ones to copy these manuscripts. So the monks, part of the clergy, are the people who were the ones that were handwriting all of these manuscripts. Now, many illuminated manuscripts were embellished by fancy capital letters using gold and or silver leaf to enhance the phrase and illuminate the script. So like we have up here, but it doesn't have color, like we saw previously, these giant colorful letters, like we saw on the Shrek page. We can see that giant capital letter that's going to be decorated with the gold or silver leaf to really enhance that part of the writing. So here are some other examples as well. We can see most of them starting with that giant illuminated letter and then the script afterwards. We can see the very detailed photos or pictures that are drawn. This is actually the cover of an illuminated manuscript. You can see all of the bright wild gold just illuminating the page, and we can see the very pretty detail around the edge. So these are really like pieces of art. They're not just books. Here's another zoomed in example of a U starting an illuminated manuscript. You can see the detail. You can also see that it is of a religious topic. You can see a picture as well. Alright, now illuminated manuscripts were written in ink on parchment. And what is parchment? Well, it's a stiff, flat, thin material made from the prepared skin of an animal and used as a durable writing surface in medieval times. So basically, it's animal skin. The best quality of parchment was vellum, which was made by brushing, stretching, and drying calf skin. So baby animal skin, using it, it was the best quality material to use to write on. Now, it actually was a two-part process. There was the text that was written by a scribe, and then the application of the gold leaf formed the first stage in the painting process of illumination by the illuminator. So it was a multi-step. You had the scribe who's writing, the illuminator, and the painter. The application of color was usually added following a very planned design. So they knew what they were writing, they planned on what colors would be where. Alright, so what is the significance then of these manuscripts? Well, manuscripts were a very important aspect of society. They represented major religious, social, and artistic beliefs of the time period. So very often they were of religious background, but not necessarily. However, due to the expense of making these manuscripts, they often served as a status symbol. So most people who owned one held high-ranking positions in society. So we can picture nobles, kings, possibly some knights would be the owners of illuminated manuscripts. You're not going to walk into a peasant's house and find one of these. So here's just a little example of another one. You can see the decorated margins, the use of the gold leaf throughout parts of the page as well, the large decorated first letter. And bringing back the idea of Shrek, we can see in Shrek 2 that they also use the same idea. Alright, hopefully you guys are able to learn something about illuminated manuscripts, and you guys now can complete your Padlet. Go to the Middle Ages Art and Architecture Center to complete the Padlet. Make sure you're looking at the instructions for your symbol as to what you need to include in your Padlet. Alright, good luck guys!